Hey guys, it's Jonathan with Crown Eagle Realty. I'm going to go over a quick tutorial on how to fill out a HUD contract and to try to make it as easy as possible for you. What we recommend you do upon winning a bid is go to the Matt Martin website and download the fillable contract right here. It says Sales Contract Fillable. I recommend you do that one. Once you download that and you open it, it's going to bring up this form right here, which is the fillable sales contract. Now if you see up here on the top right, it says Highlight Fields. You can either leave that on or off. It's completely up to you. I recommend that you leave it on because it shows you all of the fields that need to be filled out so you don't miss anything. Now when you use this form, it's going to fill out about 98% of all of the other addendum that go with your contract. So make sure that you use this. Highly encourage you to do that. Now it's pretty self-explanatory. The property you bid on is going to have an FHA case number. So you're going to fill that out in this space right here. It's going to have the list price that HUD had that property listed for. And it's going to have the property address. Very self-explanatory. Fill all that out, guys. The city, state, county, zip. Then you're going to go to your buyers. Now this is really important. This self-populating contract will only give you room for 2 buyers. So if you're bidding on a property, or if you have a buyer that is bidding on a home that there are more than one buyer, you're going to want to print out the contract and hand write that in, because this pre-populated form will only give you room for 2 buyers. And then you're going to put their social also. Now if you notice when I put my mouse over the yellow question marks, it gives you hints as to what needs to be in those fields. For example, on a social security number or EIN number, it encourages you to put in the hyphen. You have to have the hyphens in there. Type of deed holding, however title is going to be taken, and this is another commonly held mistake. So we're going to go over that with you real shortly also. Selling agent information, this will be information about you, your name, your NAID, your street address, and then information about your brokerage company. And then down here is all the purchase information. Like I said, once you fill this out, about 95% of the work is going to be done. So I'm going to give you an example of the commonly mistakes that are happening on the deed. If you have a buyer named John Doe and you have another buyer named Steve Smith, who are 2 bidders on this property, you're going to put in their social. Make sure you put in the hyphens. And let's say that these 2 guys are not related to each other. They're just some friends who are getting together to buy a property. Well, when they take title, you're going to have to put it in a specific way that HUD will accept it. They can either be joint tenants, or let's say that John Doe is married, his wife's not going to be on the contract, and let's say that Steve Smith is single, and of course he's just going to buy it by himself. Well, then title could be taken as John Doe, a married person, and Steve Smith, a single person. So another example would be, let's say that John Doe is bidding on it by himself, but he's married. Then obviously he's going to be taking title in John Doe, a married person. His wife doesn't have to be on there to be considered a married person. He could also be single if it's a single person. And just make sure that you get the title right. If you have any questions, you guys can email us and we can help you answer those questions before sending your contract in, because if it's filled out incorrectly, you'll have to remail it, and sometimes that can be pricey. Now when it comes to the broker information, right here, the name of the brokerage company that is associated with the NAID number needs to go in this first slot. Once again, the name should be exact, the business name or individual name associated with the NAID number. Sometimes it's the broker of the office who has his name tied to the NAID number. If it's a large office like Century 21 or Keller Williams, you'll put that in there. Then you'll put in the social security number or the EIN for that company, your company's address, and your company's phone number. Down here you will actually put in the broker's name for the company. You're going to be emailed a confirmation number once your bid has been submitted, the date that you submitted your bid, enter the date that the purchaser signed the contract, the purchase price that they bid. We'll say that they bid $120,000 on this one, and HUD will pay up to 3% closing costs. So we can put in $3,600 for closing costs. Now, earnest money on these properties is 1% of whatever they bid, unless it's under $50,000. So the minimum earnest money on Matt Martin properties is $500 if the bid is below $50,000. $50,001 and above, up to $200,000 is going to be 1%, and then earnest money is capped at $2,000. So you'll check the type of financing involved. If there's a repair escrow, you'll fill that in. Is there a lead-based paint addendum attached? Yes or no? And should they hold this bid as a backup? We always recommend that you do. Now, once I said, guys, once you fill out most of this stuff, it will all be transferred down to the very bottom of the contract. Most of this information will be filled out. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call. Thanks, and have a great day.